Email Sydney v West Coast. AFL Round 13 live scores, stats and commentary updated June 15, 2018 22:55 and 55 seconds. Photo Tom Papley. They had a big second quarter to get Sydney up and going. AAP. David Moyer. Map. Sydney 2000. Sydney has toppled West Coast by 15 points in an AFL blockbuster at the SCG, stating its premiership credentials with a show of suffocating pressure. It's rare to have a finals-like atmosphere at many games in the middle of the season, but the widespread expectation on Friday night was the top four showdown would be something special. The rivals delivered, winding the clock back to 2005. In a low-scoring scrap that finished 10.12, 72 to 7.15, 57, the frenzied series of heavy tackles, hurried snaps, smart hers and spoils reflected the side's desperation and why they're both expected to progress deep into September. V-List. Live. Sydney v West Coast from 7:50 p.m. Est via AFL.com. Space is often at a premium in Sydney, but this was so met. Else. Sometimes outplayed, the Swans had more composure and class when the game was in the balance. The hosts handle the heat much better. It's the first time it has happened at the SCG since 2006. Sydney was held goal-less in the opening quarter. John Longmire's men settled after quarter time, booting 7 consecutive goals either side of halftime in what was their 6th win on the trot. It was the most complete performance of 2018 from the Swans, who have the bye face reigning premiers Richmond at Dockland Stadium. External link. Sydney v West Coast. Summary. The result ended the Eagles' 10-match winning streak. It was the club's first loss since round 1, when Sydney won by 29 points in Perth. St Coast gun Elliot Yeo threatened to make things interesting when he burst through the middle 19 seconds into the final quarter, kicking truly to reduce the margin to 20 points. Lance Franklin's inaccuracy also fueled the Eagles' hopes of a final quarter comeback, but Sydney's back six stood strong in Heath Grundy's 250th game. The Swans fell 3.5% points short of snatching top spot from West Coast. Franklin, who booted 8 goals in round 1, was quiet early but stepped up in the second half as the Eagles repeatedly infringed while attempting to nullify Sydney's most potent three. Grundy tallied 23 disposals, reflecting how often the ball was pinging into his half of the ground. The superstar finished with 2.5. Skipper Josh Kennedy and Isaac Heaney were magnificent for the Swans, combining for 11 tackles and 52 Uches, but young guns Jake Lloyd, Oliver Florent, Tom Papley, Ben Ronk and Tom McCartan also stood. External link. Sydney YV West Coast stats. AFL ladder. External link. AFL 2018 ladder topics. Australian Football League. Sport. Sydney 2000. SW. Australia. WA first posted June 15, 2018 1923. More stories from New South Wales.